The time has begun, everyone. It is time to talk Steven Spielberg, my favorite film director ever. This man has inspired me ever since I was a little kid. His movies is the reason I love movies. It is the reason why I want to become a film director one day, and that's gonna happen, and it's all thanks to this man. And so from the next couple weeks, probably next month, honestly, I will be reviewing every single Steven Spielberg movie he ever directed, with a few little movies there that he didn't fully direct, but when the time comes, we'll get to them and we'll talk about why I'm reviewing those certain movies. So let's go back to the very beginning in 1971 on ABC Saturday night. Let us begin. Duel. This film was the ABC Movie of the Week, and basically back then on ABC they would do weekly on TV movies, basically their own version of a movie just on TV. TV movies, as nowadays we get movies that are complete shit and are bad, whatever. Back in 1970s, we got this movie, and this is a so-called chase film, which I looked up a lot back then. In 1970s, there was a bunch of just car chase films. The most famous one, of course, is Smokey and the Bandit. And nowadays, movies like those are reference to Mad Max Fury Road. Apparently, that movie was a good reference to chase films back in the 70s. So, in 1971, the premiere movie of the week on ABC in November was Duel, starring Dennis Weaver, directed by Steven Spielberg, his first film. And this movie was actually later on put into theaters in 1983 because it was like technically his first movie, and by that time he did a lot of things. So they were like, let's put his first movie in theaters, let's see how it does, because people love Spielberg. And like I said, this was a young Spielberg. He had basically this time limit on the movie of the week, and they said, studio, all right, this is what you got, and this is what you got to do. He turned a TV movie into this film. That is the most impressive thing about this entire movie. First things first, the story basically is Dennis Weaver is a businessman heading out to go to his appointment or meeting of some sorts, and all of a sudden, while he's driving, this big old truck, an evil-looking truck, is driving. It won't let him pass until he passes, and this truck is pretty much terrorizing him for 90 minutes, leading to him probably this truck trying to kill him, and it's a chase film on our hands. This movie I've actually never seen. I've tried actually watching it. I've owned the movie now for a while, and I've never actually fully watched it. And the reason why is I always watch it at nighttime and I fall asleep. So what I do this time, I watch it at 3 in the morning because I'm smart like that. But besides that, this movie was actually very enjoyable. I actually really liked the film. First things first, the music was not done by John Williams. We haven't got there yet. The music was really good. It's very intense music. I love the main menu music. If you buy the movie on Blu-ray and you listen to the main menu music, it's so good. I love that. I love the music in this movie. It's so intense. It's very eerie. And we've all been those people before. When you're driving down the road and there's like a big semi truck, like I'm one of those people where I hate being next to them. When I'm driving on the highway and it's like a 2-lane basically highway, and that truck's right there, and I'm right here, I zoom the fuck on. I am gone. I am not trying to be near that truck. This movie is 90 minutes of a truck trying to chase him down and murder him. Or do we think? We don't know. And the one thing I love about this movie is we never see the driver. We never see him. The entire movie, we never see the driver. And I love that because it gives the truck more of an enemy, like a slasher. Like, you know how Jason has the mask? Well, this movie is the truck, and that's Jason in this movie, the truck. And it's evil, man. There is a great scene with him at a telephone booth, and that scene alone was edited and directed really good with great intensity. I mean, for Spielberg's first film, it's basically a horror film slash thriller that I really enjoyed. Dennis Weaver, who was the only star I really worth talking in this movie, everyone else is very side characters, he's got a wife and everything, but Dennis Weaver is really good in this movie. He plays it off excellent. Like, he's a smart dude, but he's trying to figure things out. Like, there's a great bar scene where he's in this cafe, and he's sitting there, and he's trying to figure out, is the truck driver in this cafe with me right now? It's a great, like, intense scene, kind of a mystery. He's looking around and everything. Now, this is where actually gets my only biggest criticism about this whole movie. I hate how he talks and narration in his head. Like he's sitting there like looking around and everything, and we hear his thoughts, and he's basically like, is it him? Is it him? Is it him? What if we do this? What if I do that? Da, 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 da. It comes out of nowhere, and to me, it feels so like, hey audience, I know you're confused of what he's thinking right now and his emotions, so let me just spew it out and tell you everything. That's what it felt like, and I freaking hated it. I was like, you're telling me, like, there's a shot where we see the drug dealer's foot walking, and we post, as an audience, you're supposed to look at that. And then when he's in the cafe, he's looking at their shoes, and it's really smart filmmaking. But the narration just explains, like, is he in here? And it's like, shut up. Just stop. Like, there's literally a scene where he's driving, and he's chasing him down, and he's driving, whatever. It's really intense. He starts thinking, he's, like, talking, whatever. And then the next line is him, like, saying, like that, like, get off me, when he's actually talking. It's like, why didn't you just put the thoughts in his head out loud? It felt more realistic. I don't care to hear his thoughts. It didn't go with the movie. It felt like it was literally just telling the audience what he's thinking. We need to spew it out because our audience is dumb. No, we're not. We're smart, but I know it's 1971, so really it was just like, hey, Chase Film of the Week on ABC. Let's tune in. Oh, Steven Spielberg, who's this guy? Well, a couple years, guys, you'll know who he is. But overall, I really enjoyed watching this film. It's only 90 minutes. I love how it's so smooth in the very beginning, and by the end of this movie, it is a grip to the wheel, intense. What is gonna happen? It's definitely one of those movies where you think know what's gonna happen, but it's like, nah. This truck won't leave him alone. He does everything you think of, and it just doesn't happen. But hands down, my favorite scene is the bus scene. I love that scene. It's so well edited and it's so intense. It's my favorite scene, hands down. The bus scene, love it. Even though those school kids, I would say, shut up, kids. I love you, kids. And those kids annoyed me so bad if I was him. I will give Duel a strong B+. I'm glad I can finally say that I have actually seen his first film now. I feel so not like a good fan not seeing this film for the longest time, but I finally sat down. I did it, guys. I enjoyed it, but I am very excited for our next one. The Sugarland Express is my next review, and a movie that I actually have not seen either. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, guys.